Timothy Burns, he's already put a question down on my Facebook page. He says, all right, Karl, which animal is the happiest of all animals? It changes every day. Like, because it's been raining a lot, I've been seeing snails. And, you know, are they happy? They sort of seem, just the way they, I don't know, they just mooch about slowly, not in a rush. I think that's the key to happiness, isn't it? Not rushing about. Snails don't rush about. And they're really free. I suppose that's the thing that also brings happiness, isn't it? That sense of freedom. The way they can just go up a wall, and if they get tired, they can just stop. They've got their house on the back. They can just sort of camp there for a bit. And I think that's there's something in that. They don't need loads of people around them. I've always said, like, with slugs, they're normally sort of on their own. Whereas a snail, if you find a snail, there's normally another one close by, but they're never really close. And I think that's good. That's how I like to treat my family in a way. It's like, it's nice to know they're there, but don't keep coming. Don't keep visiting. You know, I can see you there if I need you, but you're not hassling me. And that's what snails are like. You look at a wall when it's been raining, there's always a snail going up it, and you don't have to look far, there's another one. And it's like it's just there. If it needs a bit of help with something, they're there. So I'd say snails. I'll go for snails today. But the weird thing is, you ask me again on the 20th of June what my favourite animal is or what the happiest animal is, I'll have a different answer. Andy Croswell. Ability to fly, X-ray vision, or super hearing. Tricky one, that, isn't it? I wouldn't have super hearing. My ears are well sensitive as it is. They hear the slightest thing and that's it. It drives me up the wall. If anything, I'd prefer worse hearing. Yeah, so I wouldn't have that. X-ray vision, I don't see the point. I've never sort of looked at something and thought, I'd love to know what's in that. Mainly because most of the time there's nothing in stuff these days, is there? I tell you what, I smashed up a telly once, part of the programme on the Moaning of Life. It was a thing in Dallas where they smashed stuff up to get rid of frustration. And there was a telly that I smashed up. There's nothing in it. It's just like an empty box. I remember when I was a kid and TV Terry used to come round. It was my dad's mate who used to fix tellies. You'd take the back off and there was loads in there. It was like another world going on. Really interesting. Now, it's just, I don't know what we're paying for. Just an empty plastic box. So X-ray vision these days, I think nothing contains anything when you think about it. We live in a world now where everything is nothing. Downloading. What is it? Where is it? So you can't see that. And we've got X-ray machines anyway, if you want to, have a look at how your lungs are or whatever. That's the thing, innit? You'd be hassled. I've always thought that with superpowers. You'd have people stopping you all the time going, I've got a cough, look at my lungs, I've got bronchitis and all that. So I wouldn't have X-ray vision. And flying, it's the one that everybody wants to pick. But again, I can just imagine being hassled. I already sort of have to drive Suzanne about because she doesn't like driving. So I can imagine people sort of going, Karl, give us a lift. Traffic's bad. And I jump on your back and you whiz us into town. So there'd be I don't think I'd have any of them. I've sometimes wondered about, how flying would be handy if you're in a building, there's a fire or something, you can jump out and fly. But then would it just be, enough to have, almost like a chicken has wings? Do you know what I mean? A chicken can't fly, it flaps about all over the shop, but it's enough to save it if it fell off a ledge. So I wonder if that's the sort of flight I'd have. The sort of flight that nobody would be hassling me to give them a lift anywhere, but if I fell off a bridge, I'd have enough flapping power just to sort of flap my way down. So I'd have that as if out of that three, I'd go with ability to fly, but like a chicken. Elaine Phillips. She sent a question in saying, why no kids? I just don't want, I don't know, I don't want any kids. You shouldn't just do it for the sake of it, should you? Because that's not right, is it? People always sort of say, oh, you'll regret not having them when you're older, but what about the other way around? What about if you regret having them? We're not sort of all cut out to be parents, are we? It's just not for me. And the thing is, I don't think my genes are that good. Do you know what I mean? If I was a doctor or something, or I had a really good brain, I'd think, well, those genes need to live on. But mine aren't that good. I mean, I'm in a right state at the moment. Got a bad leg, got a bad foot, bad back. My eyes are bad. I've got to get glasses now. Bald. Do you know what I mean? It's not I'm not a perfect model, really, for life to go on. I'm not that important. So I wouldn't want to wish this on anyone else. I think if I got an urge to have a kid, maybe I'd adopt. That's all right. I think that's the way around it. If I want a kid, there's loads of kids out there that need looking after. I'd adopt one. That'd be that. And the good thing with that is, if he turns out to be a bit of a nutter, I can sort of say to people, oh, he's not mine. So in a way, I'm distancing myself from him anyway, which is quite good. So that's what I'd do. I think he'd also have a name already, wouldn't he, when you adopt? Which is a big sort of pain in the arse thing you have to do, isn't it? The amount of people who have kids and they go, no, we're thinking about the name. It goes on for ages. And then it's a big news when they reveal it and all that. At least with adopting a kid, he comes with it, it's done. Because they're getting sillier and sillier, aren't they, kids' names? Really struggling. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because, maybe it is that thing on Skype and all that. If you join Skype and you put your own name in, it goes, it's already taken. Maybe people are getting more and more ridiculous just so the kid can have a Skype name that isn't taken. So they're just coming up with odd fruit names and stuff like that. They sound like Japanese cars, some of these sort of names people come up with. So I think adoption is the way forward if I wanted a kid. But I don't, so I'm not worrying about it. I've got a question here from Horner Dolset. They say, will you come to San Francisco and hang out with me? Not going to happen. I like San Francisco. Went there once. Got a good prison. Alcatraz. That's worth a visit. And I went in there, did a tour. Do you know those bus tours you can do? And they took us to a big building and said it's earthquake proof. And we all got off and went in and all that. It's like, there wasn't an earthquake. So we just all stood in it and he's explaining how it can handle it. What a boring day out that was. I think it cost like £6. He took us to that, a building that is earthquake proof, but we don't know because they want an earthquake, and a field where they used to film some sitcom called Family of Five or something, and there was dog shit all over it. And I just thought, what have we come on here? So it is a nice place, I liked it, but I probably won't go again. There was a bloke as well who was shot whilst we were there. There was a right palaver on the streets because some bloke was shot by police because he thought he had a gun. And it turned out it was his wooden leg. He had hold of a wooden leg and he thought it was some sort of AK-47 and he shot him. Anyway, so yeah, I won't be going again, there's no need to, but it's a nice place. If you haven't been, it's worth a visit. I've got a question here from Elaine Bolter in Chipping Norton. She wants to know, why does romance die once you're married? And is that why you're not married? No. I don't think romance is that important. I think it's one of them things that people do because they've seen it in a film. I think that's where romance comes from. I don't think it's in the real world. You know, you sort of, what film is it? Especially in the old-fashioned films, in the old black and white ones, you get like blokes putting the coats out in puddles so that women can walk through them without getting their feet wet. Never do that. Mental. Don't care how much you love someone. You shouldn't go wrecking your sort of coat just because she wants them. Why is she walking through puddles? Just go round them. Mental that. The cost of dry cleaning and everything, there's no way that I wouldn't want. You see, if a woman expected that, I'd go, right, it's over. I suppose that's the good thing in a way with relationships. It's finding out what they expect from you, isn't it? That's what works. It's not about how much you love them and that. It's how much you respect each other. And if I was going out with a woman who expected me to stick my coat in every puddle she comes past, forget it. It's not happening. It doesn't matter how much we could sort of connect through the brain or what hobbies we've got. If she's taking the piss saying, pop your coat down there so I can walk through a puddle, I go, right, it's over. But it happens that, doesn't it? I've seen it in films loads of times. Well, what are you doing? If you're going to keep doing that, buy some wellies. If you've got to piss about going through puddles all the time, you know, no, I'm not putting my coat down. So that's romance, really. So I hope that helps Elaine.